Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed Ali. So we do want to thank you for joining us right here live on Synergy Television from 7 to 8 p.m. to view your #1 current affairs program, Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So viewers, thank you for logging on to Synergy TV. I want to thank those of you that are on our page. What I also want to say is that continue sharing our page, share our live stream. Let the numbers build on Facebook, let the numbers build on television. Remember, you made us the #1, and we want to continue staying the #1 right here in Trinidad and Tobago. So share our live stream, go on your Facebook page, type in Real Talk with Saieed Ali, share it on YouTube, TT Real Talk, subscribe, and you would know when we go live. So viewers, as we start off tonight's program, both India and China have pledged donations to Trinidad and Tobago. The announcement was made via a release from the office of the Prime Minister earlier today. So viewers, remember we continue drilling them, where we getting the vaccine, where we getting the vaccine, where we getting the vaccine. Where is it coming from? You think I'm joking? Listen to this. Run the little look. So I have one big question for Trinidad and Tobago. To the PNM supporters, to the UNC supporters, to the ILP supporters, to the whoever supporting. Which country is really going to give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago COVID-19 vaccine? Which country? Is it China? Is it the United States? Is it Africa? Or is it India? Which country? Remember, we spend millions in COVAX. After we drill them and we pong it in the head and we want them to understand, we want to know. Finally, both India and China have pledged vaccine donation to Trinidad and Tobago. This was announced from the Prime Minister's office earlier today. The government of India has today officially informed the government of Trinidad and Tobago that 40,000 doses of WHO-approved AstraZeneca vaccine have now been provided for donation to T&T. So all the time, our Prime Minister was talking about begging and begging and begging. Begging. Jamaica, Grenada, Barbados, CARICOM countries receive gifts. So technically now, if he said, if you send a letter to India, it come like you're begging them. So he being the head of the CARICOM leader, how do you think other ministers would look at him? Do you think the Barbados government would look at him? So wait now, I am a beggar then? Because I asked him for help, I am a beggar? How do you think the Jamaican Prime Minister would look at the leader of CARICOM, the Honorable Dr. Keith Rowley? So I am a beggar in Jamaica? What about Grenada? Am I a beggar? Because I asked for assistance, I am a beggar? Remember when they labeled the opposition leader? I remember that? Oh, you're out of place, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do next, and you shouldn't send a letter, and you're out of timing, and you're out of place, and use the opposition. The Minister of Health took stand, as he's supposed to earlier. Did they do that? No. They didn't do that. He labeled the opposition. So things where the health minister is supposed to do, the opposition doing, and then Terence come on that Hey, watch me. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. If you have nothing to say, swallow your spit. I Saieed telling you that. So after we drill them and we drill them and we drill them. So Dr. Rowley, how would you class yourself now? Did you beg the India government? Did you beg the High Commissioner? Did you? I'm asking. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed. What we calling this Wednesday, Culture Wednesday? Let me start off. First of all, we have a mother of the nation, and she's the Lashmi of the nation. That is Kamla Bisesa. You know why? She did something that she showed that the nation people needed vaccine, and she take the initiative.
Yes.
So write to Modi, and Modi responded in a subtle kind of way. No, we had, and we currently have deadbeat fathers of the nation. You know, Eric was a deadbeat father. He couldn't enter U.S.
So
else they might lock him up. And we have another one currently that deadbeat. So they might care about children and thing, you know. They don't care about the children of the nation at all, you know. But I want to praise the Honorable Kamla Bisesa for taking that bold initiative. The other thing, we're getting two vaccine, right? One from China, one from India.
Yes.
India is the Calcutta vaccine. Tobago don't want it, and I'm glad I like this strategy this Rowley used. Make sure you get Chinese vaccine to send it to Tobago. Don't say no. Calcutta ship vaccine don't get all for them. Leave them so. Give them the Chinese vaccine. Now go on. Have a nice night.
Thank you, my friend. So now, as 40,000 doses have been approved from India, additionally, the People's Republic of China have offered 100,000 doses of the Sinopharm COVID-19 vaccine to the U.S. A release stated, TNT had graciously accepted the generous offer of the Sinopharm vaccine as we anxiously await WHO approval. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley expressed his sincere appreciation and gratitude to both India and China Prime Minister. All are here now? All are here Bacchanal now? He graciously accepted it. After he talking, oh, beggars! Did Maya Motley, the Prime Minister for Barbados, beg? No, she did not beg. They communicated with India's High Commissioner and Prime Minister. Did Jamaica beg? No, Jamaica did not beg. Even Chris Gale came out. Is Chris Gale, I call him, or Chris Gale or something like that? Chris Gale, the cricketer. Even he came out and thanked the India High Commissioner and the Prime Minister. Jamaica did the same thing. Grenada did the same thing. Barbados did the same thing. Only in Trinidad here now, we saying we beggars. That know my thing, you know. I am begging, you know. For me time you had to write a letter and ask, you're begging. You ain't begging, partner. I wonder what you're doing now. How do you call it? How do you call it? How do you call it? That is why I just hammer them when I reach here. Let me tell you something now. And I want you to understand what I'm saying. UNC and PNM supporters. What was the job of the health minister in Trinidad and Tobago? What was his job? What was his job? His job was to look for the COVID-19 vaccine. That was his job. Not go against countries like the Prime Minister doing. What was the job of Dr. Avery Brown being the foreign affairs ministers? What is his job? Huh? To do business with other countries to benefit Trinidad and Tobago. That is their job. So in case you don't know, in case you didn't know, all the PNM supporters, in case you didn't know, I'm telling all you, the job of the health minister is to make sure the health in Trinidad and Tobago is safe and sound and not dilapidated. So if you didn't know that, tonight you know. Tonight you know that. And the job of the Prime Minister is to govern Trinidad and Tobago. Not call me beggars. And be the head of CARICOM. Let me tell you something. You see the level you're really thinking? Leave that for children who go in A, B, C. Leave it for them. Don't come out and say the other countries, oh God, is beggars and they're sending. No, man. You're too big for that. How old he is? About 60 something? And that's how you get it on as a Prime Minister. You don't do them thing. That's why we became the laughing stock of the CARICOM a couple days back. Call a good night.
Good night, Shadi. Shadi, how are you going?
I good.
I'm coming from Tobago here, man.
Tobago, welcome.
He about 71 now, man. He no 60 something. He's 71 now.
About 71 and he get on like he's ABC boy.
Yeah, Shadi boy, what they should do, the minister from China, they should give the Go Martin people that thousands of them vote for me and I don't know one of them and they go back and him again. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So I want a little understand that. The works of the Minister of Works and Transport, his job is to make sure that the construction sector in Trinidad and Tobago booms. His job is to make sure the roads of Trinidad and Tobago are proper. That is his job. You see, we in Trinidad, like we just get stupid and we just get dotish when we hear minister. Like we just get dotish among ourselves. Oh God, look the minister, look. Wait, take your time. Take all your time. Find out the portfolios of the ministers and what they're supposed to be doing for you. For you. So not that educating you all. Find out what they're supposed to be doing for you. Health minister want to come and say that, you want to talk this, you want to talk that, you want to talk the next. But are you doing what you're supposed to do? Are you? I remember the same man who said, don't wear masks. And then he come and say, oh, don't wear masks. And then they go to the cabinet and they bring out an amendment. Charge them without masks. That's the health minister we have running our country. That is the health minister. Every time he goes in front of the camera and in front of my... I just call him a laughing minister. The laughing minister. When I want to watch Comedy Fest, I just had to sit down and watch him in a media briefing. I'm telling you, big man thing. So hear this now. Arrangements are being made for the shipment of the vaccine to Port of Spain. You have it there? COVAX. So I have one big question for Trinidad and Tobago. To the PNM supporters, to the UNC supporters, to the ILP supporters, to the whoever supporting. Which country is really going to give the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago COVID-19? So now you know, viewers, after we hammer them, all of them talking, all the ministers talking, but nobody has said where we getting it from. Millions Millions we spent. COVID-19 cost Trinidad and Tobago billions of dollars. Is there any accountability? Is there any accountability? When time to buy COVID vaccine now, they sourced $45.4 million. Let me say it again. When time to purchase COVID-19 vaccine, they allocated $45.4 million to purchase 20,000 laptops. You like that? You like that? Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. We have money for COVID-19 vaccine now that it is needed. We have money now. We have money now. We have allocated money now. We have rake and scrape the treasury now to get $45 million now to purchase laptop. So you know what now? You know what? We cannot buy COVID-19 vaccine because we cannot source it. They may have no money now. No money now. Business sector. As the vaccine controversy continues to rage in Trinidad and Tobago, there is a pledge to work together to vaccinate the population. CEO of Ansa Makal, Anthony Sabga, III, and Supermarket Association President Rajiv Dipti both stated that what matters most is ensuring that there are vaccines in Trinidad and Tobago, and they are willing to assist the government in these efforts. We're supposed to have Mr. Dipti on the line. I think she's trying to call him. Health Minister Terence Dayal Singh also assured that the three will work together to purchase safe World Health Organization approved vaccine for TNT if available. Hear me again? If available to the private sector.
The private sector, as they did last year, when they supplied everything from meals, PPE, a whole host of goods and services, again reached out to me personally and to the ministry to offer their assistance. We facilitated a meeting with all these agencies, chambers of commerce, and so on the 17th of February, and no specific arrangements have been made to date. But let me add, I have also reached out to Ansa Makal and the Supermarkets Association to continue our dialogue, and they have both agreed that we will continue our dialogue in the interest of Trinidad and Tobago, and as I am rightly quoted in the newspaper today, once we have a product coming out of those discussions that is fully baked, fully cooked, and palatable to the public, we will make a joint announcement. And that is my approach to dealing with Ansa Makal, Anthony Sabga III, and Mr. Rajiv Dipti, and they have both agreed that we will continue to work together until we have a program that is based on WHO-approved vaccines and that is safe for the public.
All right, remember the Bacchanal he had the other day? When they say he didn't reach out? Now you hear him, he tongue twist. He reached out. Before, no, me I go on to them, and we could buy the vaccine, and we have the money. What happened now? What happened now? Your tongue twists like a key turning in a slot. Clicks. So viewers, we have on the line tonight with us, Mr. Rajiv Dipti, the President of the Supermarket Association. Good night, sir.
Good night, Saeed. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago.
I do want to thank, I know you are a very busy man, you're always in meeting, and I know you're busy, so I do want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and to enlighten Trinidad and Tobago a little bit.
I'm always ready to make time for you, Saeed, and for Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much. Now, first question, what inspired you? Mr. Rajiv, what inspired you to work with the Ministry of Health in acquiring the vaccine?
Well, first of all, Saeed, I would go back to, we had a meeting on February 17th. I think that was well documented across the news today.
Yes.
Right? That meeting was coordinated by Dr. Stuart Smith of the Ministry of Health. Now, and in that forum, that was a direct engagement by the Ministry of Health to private sector collaborators to discuss potential scenarios and arrangements, none of which could have been, agreed upon in that meeting. But it got us thinking, It got us thinking, if the Ministry of Health is reaching out to the private sector,
yes,
well, why can't we get involved?
Correct.
And then on top of that, around the same time, Ansa Makal put out the vaccination initiative. So that also emboldened a lot of private sector stakeholders. But none of them, in my opinion, had the gumption to say what everybody was thinking. Can we do this together? When we listened in the meeting to Dr. Smith's presentation, there was a certain prioritization pyramid in terms of who would receive the vaccine first from COVAX.
Yes.
So let me see if I have this correct. They're giving it to the vulnerable populations, the elderly persons, those who are ill, sick, have chronic diseases. Then they're giving it to public servants like fire, TTPS, WASA, TNTEC, even the prisoners, the fire services, whomsoever, right? So general population was last on that list. They were last. And the reality is, given the trickle of vaccines through COVAX, which do not inspire at this time, we had a discussion, could we get involved? If Ansa Makal was doing it, wasn't there the capacity in the private sector for us to do it?
Yes.
So we did two things. We measure the appetite of our staff to take the vaccine, first of all. Most of them who have been on the front line for a year now have indicated to us they are willing to take it.
Yes.
And that the numbers were sufficient enough to warrant jumping into the conversation. The second thing we did is find out the appetite from our members who would be willing to buy. And then when we found that the appetite was significant, we decided to write the Minister of Health on the matter. Now, we weren't aware of any of the arrangements between conglomerates and government going on at the time.
At that time?
No, we were not. We were also very clueless, just like the population, when the Prime Minister discussed the unnamed conglomerate, and several things were said, and we also put out a media release saying that we want to vaccinate our workers.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and we challenged other sectors to the same, because we recognize the only way to get Trinidad and Tobago going again is to restart the local economy.
Yes.
And that people might think things good in the supermarket, but I could tell you, if people not earning money with the level of retrenchment, unemployment, and that the average household has gone through, they are on their last dime, and there are several vulnerable populations. You would see products disappearing on the shelf in supermarkets.
Correct.
Because foreign exchange, you would see people trading down a lot of product substitution. And the reality is that if these supermarkets are one of the few places that people still go into, by vaccinating the staff that work in there, you're giving them a sense of confidence to shop. So, for us, yeah, that was the situation in a nutshell, Saeed.
All right. Now, my second question to you, Mr. Rajiv. Now that TNT is set to receive the vaccine from India and China, do you think there will still be a partnership between the Supermarket Association and the Ministry and other parties?
Well, Saeed, I was watching your show like most of your loyal viewers in the lead up to this phone call. And I also have some concerns about that. Now let's break it down. 140,000 vaccines, 40,000 coming from India,
yes,
and 100,000 coming through Sinovac or Sinopharm or whatever it is.
Sinopharm.
Yeah, Sinopharm in China. Now, following the news today that has come out of India, India has placed an embargo on the export of all vaccines because their infectivity rates have skyrocketed.
Yes.
So as of right now, all AstraZeneca vaccines, all their vaccines are grounded until further notice.
Correct.
Right? So let's bear that in mind. Let's also bear in mind that the Sinopharm vaccine is in phase 3 clinical trials, and it requires the WHO stamp of approval before it can ship. That could be a matter of weeks, months, so I don't know how long.
Correct.
Because the efficacy needs to be done. And let me tell you, people need to have confidence in that Chinese vaccine. From my discussions, people don't share that. But again, I don't want to be critical. I leave that for the medical experts.
Yes.
So it's a real question of when, because if India has this challenge with infection rate, and China has this issue with WHO approval pending, because the release also said pending WHO approval. Right? When do those vaccines arrive in Port-of-Spain is the real question.
Correct.
Right? So please, viewers, be aware of that as well. The second thing is that this is a situation where listen, if the private sector has an appetite to assist, I am very glad that the Minister of Health has acknowledged that, and that it's not, that the tone is no longer hostile, because I think the government maybe recognizes that and wants to work with us. And having said that, now we're all committed to getting the vaccine. However, that is much easier said than done.
Correct.
If you look at the news today, the global demand and supply is very constricted. Now, bear in mind that because it's a scramble for vaccines across the UK, across Europe, across the US as well. So it's the demand and supply situation will tell us what will be available for the private sector. Bear in mind that the cost to the private sector to bring this in is much higher than a government-to-government piece of business.
True.
Because the pharma companies are selling government at cost.
Yes.
There is a significant markup to recoup profits for the pharma companies on private entities. Also, bear in mind that this is following an exponential curve, right? So right now we're somewhere at the start of the curve where there's a scramble for vaccine. I expect in the next 4 to 6 weeks that the vaccines will be available in a more ready fashion. However, this is a situation, I understand that it's uncomfortable with everyone.
Yes, it is.
It's really touch and go right now for supply, and it's the way forward is very uncertain. But I do believe, to go back to your question, that the Ministry of Health needs all the assistance it could get from the private sector, especially the Supermarket Association.
Mr. Deputy, I do want to thank you so much for joining us tonight and to sharing your story with all the talks and things. And I hope that we come successfully out of this.
Thank you, my brother, and thank you, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much. So viewers, that was the president of the Supermarket Association, Mr. Rajiv Dipti, working together with Ansel McCall, also together with the Ministry of Health in trying to get vaccines in Trinidad and Tobago. But nevertheless, we are still under a situation here. The Ministry of Health could have done better. The Minister of Foreign Affairs could have done better. I understand it is late, yes, but they are still working together, which they should have done in the earlier part. Because I could tell you something. Why am I saying this? Said, why are you saying that he could have done better? And why are you saying they could have negotiated at an earlier pace? Grenada, Jamaica, Barbados. They got vaccine early. We could have gotten vaccine the same way. So if I am wrong, you tell me. 2386716. Tell me if I am wrong. Tell me if I am wrong. Public concerns tonight. Real Talk received some images of roadworks being done at the Caratal Road, Gasparilla, with the help of Casey's Manufacturing Limited and other volunteers. Volunteers, what's supposed to be the Ministry of Works and Transport, we get volunteers to do it. After dealing with a bad road condition, these individuals took it upon themselves to repair the road due to the fact that nothing was being done by the Ministry of Works and Transport. This was highlighted to also encourage more businessmen to help and assist their communities. Now I will tell you something. I will tell you something. This is where we have the councillors. The councillors. The councillors supposed to be walking through their community, reporting back to the minister's office. Reporting back to the minister's office, meaning the MP's office. The MP for the constituency office. So we have the minister of the constituency. We have his office, and we break it down now from constituency to councillor in the area. Councillor in the area. His job is to go around the streets, in the constituency, in the community, and see what is taking place. Because the MP is always in cabinet. So hence the reason why they break it down now to the councillor in the area. So the councillor in the area will do all the work that the MP is supposed to do. And then the councillor now will report back to the MP. Well, you know, boss, we need so and so, and we need so and so, and the road down the road so, and this back road here, and the side street across so. One needs street light, one need a bridge, one need road paving. So the minister now will take it to Parliament, to Cabinet, and talk to the Minister of Works and Transport. Hey, John Doe Road needs street light, John Doe Road needs paving, John Doe Road needs a bridge. And the Ministry of Works and Transport now, Minister Rohan Sinan, he will have to expedite that now. That is, you see, I go tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago, I could share real knowledge with all you know. Real knowledge with all you know. But as if you all are willing to listen. That is if you all willing to listen. So that is how the process this work. That is how the process this work. And then our Works and Transport now will take it to Cabinet and let them know, hey, Ministry of Finance, John Doe street light, John Doe need a bridge, John Doe need road paving, release X, Y, and Z for them. How do you become a good minister? How would you always want to stay in power? How would you be praised by the member of your constituencies getting the job done? That is how you stay in office. That is how you would be praised. In Trinidad, sit down in your office, cock up your foot, and you will know what's taking place outside that door. Because nothing is fixing, nothing is reporting, nobody knows nothing, and that's how the country going. Well, I know. They never tell me. And that's how we're going on. And that's how we're going into 2022. 21st century. 21st century we're going into. Trinidad and Tobago, we're moving into the 21st century with technology. But hey, you know what I want to find out? You know what I want to find out? The technology we get to fix or to locate pipeline under the ground. Where is that technology? Where is that? Caller, good night.
Hi, sorry, this is a New York caller.
New York. What part of New York are you calling from, my friend?
Richmond Hill, South Ozone Park.
My friend, I do want to thank you for viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali, and let us hear what you have to say.
No, my question is, if Rowley is chairman of the CARICOM, and St. Lucia population is 72,000 people.
I know where you're going.
70,000 vaccine.
Yes.
Barbados get vaccine. Jamaica get vaccine. So you was the father at the house and you ain't know your daughter getting married? That is the problem I have. You was the father at the house and you ain't know your son going to school with no short pants? How can you be the chairman of CARICOM and don't know these people getting vaccine and you are getting none? Thanks for listening to me.
Caller, I could not have said it better. That is why I'm labeling him. That is why I am labeling him. He is the head of the Security Council in Trinidad and Tobago. And when Dulcie Rodriguez touched down in Trinidad, oh God, I didn't know who come. I didn't know who come to meet. I don't know what business they come with. And he's the head of the Security Council. He's the head. No plane supposed to come in Trinidad, but that one come in. Let's talk now. Let's talk now. But I feel like I have to get some sponsors now, boy, to go from 7 to 8 and from 8 to 9 now. I feel so. Let's talk Trinidad and Tobago. All I just want to say, great is the PNM. Well, great is we PNM, who labeled us. Who labeled us while we neighboring countries reaching out for vaccine to save their population. We big boy tell we's beggars. We big boy tell hey, I ain't no beggar, you know. That's why when I ask them, when the Prime Minister said, send us a letter. If you can't get it to purchase commercially, send us a letter and we will acknowledge it and we will communicate with you. Did you all send the letter? Answer Trinidad and Tobago. Did they send the letter for them? They couldn't answer that. Up to now, they might answer it. Up to now. That is why I asked the question on our previous show, which country donated vaccine to Trinidad and Tobago? We have the head of the CARICOM telling us we are no beggars. That is the same head of security. Head of the Security Council didn't know who come in the plane. You got to tell me COVID here upon lockdown and somebody coming in a plane and you know? I sure Dulcie pick up that phone and say, hey, I'm Dulcie. And me and my team, we coming to discuss something with all you. Well, let's talk now. If your cousin coming in your house and they just call it to 3, hey, Navin, this is Johnny boy. I come in, me and my wife and my children, we coming down Saturday, eh? A normal man will do that. Don't you think somebody in a diplomatic position, you think they're going to just drop in your house just so? No. So if all you want to be fooled, go right ahead. So when you tune in now on Synergy TV and you see Saieed, but Saieed, why are you talking like that? You remain clowns and watch the world pass you. That's all I have to say. Caller, good night.
Say good night. Good night in number one program.
You know we're making it.
Yeah. Now, listen to the interview with Mr. Dipchi, if I pronounce his name correct, the supermarket's president, right? Presently, on the world market, there are 6 vaccines. There's the Johnson & Johnson.
Correct.
There's the Pfizer.
Yes.
There's the Moderna. There's the Oxford AstraZeneca.
Yes.
There's the Sputnik and the Novachar. And if I have that one correct, right? China now coming on stream with theirs, and it's still yet to be approved by the WHO.
Yes, correct, true.
Now, listen to what Mr. If I keep pronouncing his name correct, said, coming out of today's news that the Indian administration decided to halt the sale or exportation of the
AstraZeneca from India, yes.
Right. What is our situation right now? Because right now, it's 2 vaccines, more or less, looking like coming to Trinidad. The AstraZeneca and the Chinese vaccine, which has not been approved. by the World Health Organization. Now, if I'm I stand to be corrected. Now, listening to released by Mr. Sabga, I think it's the Pfizer they were trying to get.
Yes.
Right?
They say they have sourced 1 million vaccine.
Of the Pfizer vaccine.
Yes.
Right? So my question is, if it is that we were having issues with the Oxford AstraZeneca and they ain't guarantee of getting the Chinese one because it's not approved as yet, why it is they don't make attempt to get the Moderna?
Pfizer, I understand.
The Pfizer
well
into
said.
the country because as it is said, if we don't get no other vaccine, we'll be waiting for these other vaccine, one that's still yet to be approved and one that they hold exportation of it.
Yes.
So we just more or less sitting ducks here waiting to be picked up and fall on the sideline of the road.
Correct.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, who don't likes nobody, who have the heart of stone, please don't wait for the free vaccines that they tell us. We don't beg, but know that they come to us free. You know, everybody glad. Try and do something. Try and make the arrangement with the Answer McCall or whoever organization and try to get some Moderna or some Johnson & Johnson or some Pfizer into the country. Because right now, for me, you know me side, I don't like no part of the PNM because there's continuously lie to us and they're very arrogant. And that's what I don't like. Understand? Be fair with the just come straight to the population and that's all, you know. That's all we ask of all here.
Yeah.
Just come straight with the population. That's all side. But again, it's the number one program.
Thank you, my friend.
It's not number 3, no number 2. Number 1 right across the board. Understand? You don't sugarcoat, you ain't total no political line, you come in straight and you ain't total nobody, nobody baggage.
Nobody baggage.
Real talk, the number 1 program and you remain the side.
We make it.
All the way. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. And is it truth? We are picking no side. Look, last night I asked, where's the health minister for the opposition? We ain't hearing nothing. We're in a crisis right now. Where is the health minister? Or even where somebody representing the health minister on the opposition? We're not there. We ain't hearing nothing. Where is the foreign affairs minister for the opposition? We ain't hearing nothing. Or if you like afraid to call them out, no, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm letting you know one time. We could have handled this situation better if the health minister of Trinidad and Tobago did his job properly. The same day, Grenada, the same day, St. Lucia, the same day, Jamaica, the same day, Barbados get their vaccine. Let me tell you something. We in Trinidad here could have gotten ours. Citizens would have been vaccinated. Don't buy no mask. Don't wear no mask. Leave it for the frontline workers. Next thing you know in cabinet now, all the talk he talk. Next thing you know now, citizens have to pay $1,000 if they wear a mask. That is health minister. That's all the health minister all you put there. So all I plant, all I seed. And what all I reaping now, say thank God. Because the tree growing. When you plant that papaw tree, hey, I love this. When you plant that papaw tree, from a female papaw tree that you produce, we plant a male without any growth, without any production, without any fruit. Look how long Grenada, Jamaica, Barbados vaccinate them citizens. Down here we still wondering which one we getting, where it coming from, when it coming in Trinidad, by the time that you know how much COVID-19 that could reach. None of them know when it coming. None of them know when it coming. So staying with him, Health Minister Terence Yalsing has rejected claims that the government was unable to pay $8.4 million cost for 351,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine, which the Answer McCall Group offered to buy for the government to distribute to the public. They're saying they couldn't buy it. They're saying they couldn't pay for it. He rejected claims. Let me tell you something. He rejected claims. Long time now. It's not now. India say they're distributing COVID-19 vaccine to the world. It's not now. You're the head of CARICOM and you don't know that? You don't know that? I know that. I kept on talking about it. Just imagine, a media man like me, a TV host like me, a businessman like me knows it. And the head of the CARICOM didn't know it. Or the chairman didn't know it. Dr. Rowley didn't know it, I would say. But look good, yes? All real good? Senator Wade Mark questioned the Alsing on whether Anson McCall did in fact request payment of US dollars in 2021 tax write-off for the said purchase. The Alsing noted that the government requested that government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago ensure that a supply of US currency is being made available through Anson Merchant Bank to enable the purchase of the vaccine. He quoted, on February 19th, letter written to him by Anson McCall, Group CEO Anthony Sabga. Listen to this.
Madam President, there is absolutely no contradictory statements on behalf of the government. And to clarify the matter for the benefit of the UNC and the population, I quote from a letter dated February 19, 2021, written by Anthony N. Sabga III to myself. I will quote the two relevant paragraphs to answer the question. However, in order to meet our commitment, we kindly request that God ensure that an adequate supply of US currency is made available through Anson Merchant Bank to enable us to purchase these doses in a timely manner. That answers the US currency part.
They wanted US. They're telling the government, make the US available to us through this bank and we will purchase it. We'll purchase it. We will purchase it. And they wanted tax write-off also. The Alsing also stated that the government requested that for all private sector companies purchasing vaccine, that a contribution of 100% fully credited against tax payables for the year of 2021.
Further, we also request that for all, not only ANSA, but for all private sector companies such as ourselves, which purchase vaccines for the exclusive use by God in vaccinating the public, that a contribution be 100% fully credited against taxes payable for the year of income 2021. So there is no confusion. We are perfectly clear, and I read into Hansard the two paragraphs from the letter dated Friday, 19th February 2021.
All I remember when he said he never asked nobody. All I remember that. The other day they had a conflict between the supermarket and he. Oh, they never contacted me. Oh, I reached out to them. I reached out to them. Hey, you look good, you know. You look better than Guyana Gold. So hear this now. Question further on whether the government was able to pay the $8.4 million US requested by Anson McCall to buy the vaccine. The answer replied yes. And that be the private sector was willing to help and inquire about the cost of the vaccine. He noted that the government was prepared to fund the purchase. However, the private sector wanted to be part of it. Wow. Wow. All could have purchased the vaccine. Trinidad and Tobago, they could have purchased the vaccine. The other thing noted that at no time did the government ask the private sector to pay for the vaccine. The private sector volunteered. Listen to this.
Yes, this offer came out of a meeting requested and arranged by the Ministry of Health because people were reaching out to me personally, Chambers of Commerce and all of those persons. We facilitated a meeting. They asked us what our needs and where they could help. They were willing to help with everything from storage of vaccines to transport to provision of people to the provision of vehicles. They also asked us what were the cost of these vaccines, and we gave them the cost. We were always prepared to fund these ourselves, but the private sector wanted to be a part of it, and we simply indicated to them what the cost of these vaccines would have been. At no time did we go to them to ask them to pay. They volunteered. Thank you very much.
So Trinidad and Tobago, now you would know that the government have the money to buy the vaccine. I'll let you hear that for yourself. You heard that from the horse's mouth himself. My question now is my question to brighten you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, to put a light bulb in your memory now and inside your brain. Now that we have heard the government has the money, or some would say they have the money, why the hell, or why in God's name, that we in Trinidad ain't have the blasted vaccine as yet? St. Lucia, Barbados, Jamaica, Grenada vaccinated their citizens. Our government have the money, but did not purchase it. They did not purchase it. They did not purchase it. Now let's talk now. All who like PNM Health Minister, bray all your gum. I'm waiting for you to open all your mouth. Open all your mouth. That is your health minister. That is your health minister. And I will say it again. Terence D.L. Singh, that is all your health minister. They have the money. You heard it from the horse's mouth himself. We have the money to purchase the vaccine. How the hell? How in God's name that Trinidad and Tobago does not have the COVID-19 vaccine when our CARICOM countries right up the road there have it? I'll open all your mouth now. Great is the PNM for having the money and not buying the vaccine for you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, to save all you from COVID-19 death. I'll talk now. Talk how great all the leaders is. Talk how great all the health minister is. Talk how great is the PNM is now. I'll open all your mouth and talk. Open all your mouth and talk now. Say something. Let me tell you something. Is I funding this show here. I funding this show here. Nobody. So you can't zip my mouth and tell me what to say. Now the truth hitting all in all forehead. Wait, that's now. The truth coming bam shot. That is all I get. And Navin, that's what I get. Call a good night.
Good night again, Mr. Saeed.
Let me hear what you had to say now. Now you hear the truth from the horse's mouth.
Listen to me. You ever hear what is fourth stage memory loss?
He didn't go down to 40 and the whole man.
You're laughing. I believe the head of the fountain, CARICOM head, and our minister possibly have that symptom, you know. All right, the other thing I'm serious about, this computer pushes. Listen to me. Kamla Prasad Bissessa, the mother Lakshmi of Trinidad and Tobago, did not discriminate against any sector in the education system. She bought laptops for everybody.
Thank you.
The PNM now giving out 20,000 laptops. That is only half of the school population. What they're doing to the other half. Isn't that a discrimination policy? You're giving half laptops. Why don't you give a 2,000 or 3,000 voucher to the other half so you equalize it? All you had the money, don't put it in all your back pocket and all your cargo pants. Don't put it to pay rent. They didn't. If they had stopped paying rent for 2 months, we'd get back be able to buy vaccine. They're gonna tell the prophet, hey, hold on for a while now.
Thank you, my friend. I understand what you're saying. Thank you, my friend. Tomorrow night, back on Thursday, I will try to get the agriculture minister on how the ketchup and the mayonnaise with the US currency. I will try to get him tomorrow night on the line to clarify one or two things. So here it is. Moving on. Opposition A. Before I move on, just pop my BMW there for my bike. And I remember that. It nearly slipped my mind, you know. I bet again I would have memory loss there. I would have memory loss there. So viewers, I have a nice M Sport BMW for sale. Those of you that are interested, it is very sporty. If you could see the interior, look at it. Leather down, nice mat on the floor, and you can see the leather shining because the car is well taken care of. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is. You know what people be looking for executive ride. They want a nice BMW to roll with. Look at it. Look at the trunk. Look at the condition of the trunk. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful the interior of the car is. Very, very beautiful. Nice leather down. Fully powered. You can't get it better than that. So viewers, those of you that are interested, 238-6716 or 339-1670. It is for sale. Oh, look how she's looking. Look how she's looking. So, we're moving along tonight. Opposition MP for Tabakit, Anita Haynes, spoke on the matter of education in our country at the UNC virtual report. She noted that virtual learning has affected many students since some do not have access to an internet connection as well as a device despite millions of dollars being allocated. Remember the 45 million I tell you about just now? Good. She highlighted government failure to address such an important need in our present digital age.
I sat in Parliament and I listened to the members of the government scoff and giggle and ridicule a laptop program that was put forward by a Kamla Prasad Bissessa administration. That program was intended to create the type of citizen that can not only survive but thrive in a digital world. They scrapped that program and they left no alternative. As a matter of fact, the former Minister of Education was unable to distinguish between a laptop and a desktop because he told us there were laptops in the schools, they just could not move them. So there is no reason that we can understand why they are incapable of equipping a nation for the digital world. Because of this Rowley administration's mismanagement of the education sector, despite receiving billions of dollars in allocation, we have children in 2021 who have no access to technology. Billions of dollars has passed through this country, and billions of dollars has passed through in the past 5 years, and they will continue to tell us money was the problem.
Now viewers, MP further noted that the government have reduced the number of scholarships as well as cut gate funding, which served as the only opportunity for some students to get a tertiary education.
Our young people are looking at their dreams slip through their fingers. And to make matters worse, the government has reduced the number of scholarships available and slashed gate funding. To some families, scholarships are the only way some students can even think about going to university.
Now viewers, while we're on the scholarship, yesterday, a pre-action protocol letter from a team of attorneys, including Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, attorneys representing the Satan Dharma Mahasabha, over a decrease in the number of national scholarship as well as changes to the new bursary grant system. The attorney said the new policy dated March 11 reduced the number of scholarship from 400 to 100 and introduced 500 bursaries to unlawfully replace the previous scholarship system with the bursary system. Khan noted that if Cabinet failed to respond to the pre-action letter by Friday and does not agree to have a previous scholarship requirement restored, they will be filing legal action at the High Court. Now, this is coming from the attorneys of Satan Dharma Mahasabha. So, viewers, we are out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, join us tomorrow night for another episode of Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Until then, good night and be safe.